When Power College Prep started in 2012, and we've always served families in this area of Central Phoenix, around I-17 and Camelback. And that's a place where I first started teaching. It's a community I've always cared deeply about, and I want to make sure that families who oftentimes live in poverty and higher crime in this area have the same options and opportunities families anywhere else in Arizona has. And that means they have to have the transportation to get to and from the school of their choice. Initially, we had to contract because we didn't have the funds to be able to buy buses and do our own transportation. And the benefit of it was we were able to get kids to and from school. There were drawbacks too.
I would wait sometimes at 7 o'clock at night and my kids still were not home and nobody was at the school at that time, and I would have to call directly to Mr. Holman trying to find out where my kids were and to find out that they were on a bus. And I didn't know where exactly because they had such long routes. So I had scary experiences that no mother should go through.
When we were contracting with a third-party company, we oftentimes would have to put that call on hold and say, let me call you back, let me talk to the third-party company and get back to you. We didn't have a lot of control or knowledge all the time on what the issue was or how to resolve it. That was really frustrating. When we had buses without AC, that was another time that was just very challenging because we are in Phoenix. The reality is that being on a bus in Phoenix in the middle of summer is extremely hot, and being able to explain to a parent why we have no say in being able to change that, that's a difficult conversation to have and not one that we enjoyed, and we had very little say to change that.
I do also remember whenever there was like a disciplinary issue, there was also like, because there was such a disconnect between the students and the bus driver, because sometimes the bus driver would be completely different, like every other week. So there was always a problem with the disciplinary action that took place also.
Being involved with one of the subcontractors providing bus services for Empower in the past, you're looked at as strictly a bus driver. When you are on campus, my opinion is that you have a greater interaction with them. They respect you more. You end up with less referrals because of the relationship that you have with them than we had in the past.
With bringing transportation in-house, we are able to integrate the bus drivers into our school culture. They attend our culture trainings. They work with the kids during the school day. They learn how to de-escalate situations instead of just reprimanding and hoping that that mitigates the situation.
One of our goals towards starting our own buses, the biggest one I would say, it's not cost savings is important, but ultimately it's reducing the amount of time the student spends on the bus. For us, profit is not the goal. Student safety and student enjoyment and making their day that they spend from when they go to school to when they get home as impactful and as concise and tight as possible, so that they're not exhausted or they think, I have to ride the bus for an hour and a half to get to school and then I've got an hour and a half to get home. These are things out of their control, and so we want to control and shorten and make as positive of an impact as possible.
With the 20% plus savings that we were able to see by bringing transportation in-house with this grant, we were able to put that money towards teacher salaries, which, especially in the state of Arizona, is much needed right now. We were able to put that towards the program and instructional materials and online learning and supporting remote students. And so all of those things came from us being able to have better stewardship of our resources by not overspending on contracting a third party to provide transportation for our students.
Transportation is one of the biggest challenges we have in education, because without transportation, parents don't really have choice. And I would say that if a school is looking at this situation and saying, how do we increase educational options and transportation options for our families, it is critical to find a partner such as Aid for Arizona or others who are mission aligned and provide the strategic thinking and resources to be able to meet the needs that your unique families have.
Anyone who's looking to do this themselves and bring transportation in-house as a charter school of like a small to medium size, one suggestion that I would recommend is getting input from as many different departments in your school as possible. It's so helpful to make sure you have the context of what does a school principal prioritize out of an in-house transportation program? What does the insurance broker want to make sure you don't miss because you didn't think about it? What does the student who experiences that drive every single day want you to know if you have the ability to change something?
My hope for the future is that Empower College Prep and other schools have a way for families to get to the school of their choice. And it's important that the transportation provider is invested in the mission of the school so that the culture, the safety, the educational outcomes are part of what's considered in route times and all other aspects of transportation. And it's done in a way that's as efficient and cost-effective as possible so that more funds are freed up for teachers and instructional materials and kids.